The Indian Navy is set to get a massive power boost and become only the third naval power in the entire world to boast three aircraft carrier strike groups. Indian Navy's third aircraft carrier, INS Vishal, has been given the go-ahead. And surely the news has sent shockwaves all the way to China, with Global Times, the mouthpiece of the CCP, calling it India's tunnel vision aimed at China. Realistically, will a third carrier be enough to challenge China, which is arguably building the world's largest navy? Three Chinese aircraft carriers are already in service, including the Liaoning, Shandong and Fujian, while the PLA is soon set to unveil the largest and its biggest carrier to date. The Chinese PLA is arming itself at a pace never seen before since World War II. In such a scenario, a third aircraft carrier for the Indian Navy is not only important but necessary to face the Chinese expansionist threat. With Xi Jinping's ambitions likely to spark World War III in the South China Sea with an invasion of Taiwan, or a miscalculation across the watertight LAC with India in the Himalayas, the good news is that the Defence Acquisition Council has given the go-ahead for India's third carrier. So what will INS Vishal look like? What will be its features, armament and fighter jet fleet? And how soon will the Indian Navy become a true blue water power? I am Shobit Mittal and you're watching Inconnect News, and if you find our news story informative, then do hit the like and subscribe buttons. But before we move ahead, here's a quick question for our viewers. Which of the following countries does not have an aircraft carrier? Is it Russia, France, Germany, Italy or the UK? Leave a comment below and we will give you the answer in just a bit. So INS Vishal has been envisioned as INS Vikrant Part 2. Indian Navy and Cochin Shipyard will utilize the expertise gained in constructing INS Vikrant to manufacture a more advanced IAC-2. While INS Vikrant cost about 23,000 crore rupees, reports suggest the new carrier project is estimated at 40,000 crores. Now this has led to speculation that the new carrier might be a bigger 65,000-ton vessel compared to INS Vikrant at about 40 to 45,000 tons. If the Navy does go for a bigger version, then it may also feature catobar system or catapult-assisted takeoff, barrier-assisted recovery system. However, this is largely speculation at the moment. More likely is a sister ship of INS Vikrant to utilize the existing supply chain. Designing a new catobar system will take a lot of years and a lot of resources. It also remains to be seen if the IAC-2 or INS Vishal will be armed with French Rafale marine fighter jets like it is planned for INS Vikrant, or whether the Indian Navy and the DRDO will develop the TED-BF or the twin-engine deck-based fighter by the time INS Vishal is commissioned. Currently, INS Vikrant is equipped with the stow bar configuration of the short takeoff but arrested landing system. It can carry 36 aircraft including 26 fixed-wing jets. It can house 1,600 brave officers, sailors and support staff, which led to Prime Minister Modi calling it a floating city. INS Vikrant was commissioned in 2022 in what was a moment of pride for India's defense manufacturing capabilities. Not many nations in our world have the capabilities to design and construct a fully indigenous operational aircraft carrier. Now the Indian Navy is getting 26 Rafale marine fighter jets to arm INS Vikrant, while it can also house the anti-submarine warfare MH-60R helicopters from America or the indigenous Dhruv helicopters in the Indian Navy fleet. Meanwhile, INS Vikramaditya is a Soviet-made aircraft carrier which can carry nearly 30 aircraft. Its primary weapon are the MiG-29 fighter jets India secured from Russia. Though it also houses the ALH Dhruv and Sea King helicopters, INS Vikramaditya was commissioned way back in 2013. While these two aircraft carriers are more than enough to give India complete naval dominance over Pakistan and other nations in the Indian Ocean region, growing Chinese presence in India's backyard has caused a concern in New Delhi. While no Chinese carrier has sailed in the Indian Ocean region yet, however, PLA regularly sends its destroyers and frigates, and especially its spy ships or surveillance vessels in this region. Now these serve the dual purpose of ocean seabed mapping for submarine operations and to track any Indian naval activity and strategic missile test launches. Now, given China's escalating tensions and confrontations with Taiwan, the Philippines and with India, the Indian Navy felt the need for a third carrier strike group to maintain the balance of power in the region. So let's quickly have a look at the rapidly expanding Chinese carrier fleet. PLA has 3 carriers in operation, while a 4th is set to be unveiled soon. Reports have suggested that China has ambitions of having 5 operational carriers by 2035, by the time Indian Navy gets its own 3rd carrier, INS Vishal. Liaoning. This was China's first carrier, also a Soviet-made carrier. It has a displacement of 60,000 tons and is said to carry up to 40 aircraft, including 24 J-16 fighter jets, along with supporting helicopters. Shandong. This is China's first indigenous aircraft carrier with a displacement of 60,000 to 70,000 tons. It can reportedly host 44 aircraft, including 32 Shenyang J-15 jets. Fujian. Now, Fujian is said to be China's largest aircraft carrier with capacity of 80,000 tons. It is reportedly designed to carry 60 to 70 aircraft, with some reports suggesting China may even station some of its 5th generation fighter jets on Fujian aircraft carrier. Now, the Fujian is also known as Type 003 or Type 003. It features the Catobar launch system. Though the Catobar is said to be suitable for nuclear-powered carriers like those in the US Navy fleet, China's Fujian is steam-powered and its operational capabilities are yet to be proven. Yet, Fujian does signal a major advancement in China's shipbuilding capabilities and its naval ambitions. Realistically, China's carrier ambitions as of now are limited to defense purposes against the vastly superior US Navy power in Western Pacific. The United States boasts the world's largest carrier fleet with 11 operational carriers, most of them nuclear-powered, with unmatched power projection capabilities. In fact, US Navy has its mighty supercarriers like the USS Gerald Ford class, which can deploy up to 75 fighter jets anywhere in the world. These US supercarriers can go decades without the need to refuel and have a fleet of supporting ships, including destroyers, frigates, and attack submarines in their arsenal. While India and United States are Quad allies and share a common vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific, both are troubled by China's disregard of international order. Beijing has rejected international tribunal rulings which back the claims of Philippines in the South China Sea. China has time and again disregarded bilateral border agreements with its neighbors, including nuclear neighbor India, or even Japan and Vietnam in ASEAN. In such a volatile Indo-Pacific, a 3rd aircraft carrier strike group will ensure the Indian Navy always has 2 of these operational carriers to defend its shores along the Arabian Sea or the Bay of Bengal. Now, here are a few tactical and strategic advantages of having a 3rd aircraft carrier. Firstly, INS Vishal or IAC-2 will extend India's maritime reach and operational ability, with fighter jets stationed on IAC-2 capable of reaching targets that land-based aircraft simply cannot. Secondly, it's a great tool for power projection, becoming only the 3rd nation in the world with 3 operational aircraft carriers, which will put India in an elite club ahead of the likes of the United Kingdom, France, or even Italy. 3 aircraft carriers will reduce any operational gaps. In case one of the 3 is in service, the other 2 will provide cover along most of India's naval coastline of over 7,500 kilometers. IAC-2 will also ensure complete naval dominance of Indian Ocean region, especially over noisy neighbors like Pakistan. While the Pakistan Navy is acquiring submarines and vessels from China and Turkey, none of them will come close to the power of an Indian aircraft carrier strike group. Lastly, an aircraft carrier by nature is one of the largest ships in any navy's arsenal. A 3rd aircraft carrier will boost India's capabilities to carry out humanitarian operations in the region and aid friendly countries in need. So we asked you earlier which of these countries does not have an operational aircraft carrier, and the answer is Germany. All the others in the list, including France, UK, Italy and Russia, all have at least 1, if not 2 aircraft carriers. But none of them have 3 aircraft carrier strike groups, which is the Indian Navy's next target. Have your say. Will a 3rd aircraft carrier help Indian Navy face the dual threat of China and Pakistan? Leave a comment below and remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons.